On a battlefield where every second could be fatal, Ukrainian forces face an immense and ruthless threat. Tanks, drones, and ambushes, but something far more dangerous is about to unfold. What hides in the shadows? Get ready for the unexpected. You won't believe what happens next. What you are about to see contains real war footage from the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. It is presented strictly for documentary purposes. We do not encourage violence. Recommended for 18+. Coordinated by a drone, 2 Ukrainian tanks patiently wait for the Russian armored vehicles, preparing for a surprise offensive. After a series of shots, the first, second, and third, the enemy target is neutralized with impressive precision. Observing the situation of their companion, the enemy decides to retreat. Calmly, the Ukrainian tank waits as the enemy advances, and at the right moment, it strikes, disabling the enemy tank. However, in the battlefield, unpredictability is constant. An ATGM missile is fired at the Ukrainian tank, but misses the target. The ATGM, anti-tank guided missile, is designed to destroy armored vehicles like tanks. Despite several attempts, the Russian shots fail to hit the Ukrainian tank. Upon spotting enemy armored vehicles, the Ukrainian Leopard tank, under the pilot's command, takes position and prepares to fire. A precise shot hits the target. The Leopard tank, one of the main combat vehicles used by European armies, was supplied to Ukraine as part of military support from NATO countries. In these exclusive images, we see a superior number of Russian APCs and tanks. Faced with this situation, the Ukrainians use their heavy artillery effectively, although the Russian advance continues. A Ukrainian tank, piloted by a skilled and well-trained soldier, positions itself strategically, hiding from the enemies. With the target in sight, it fires the first and second shots, hitting with precision. Nevertheless, the Russian armored vehicles continue their advance. One Russian APC is damaged and becomes non-functional. By staying hidden, the Ukrainian tank confuses the enemies, who inadvertently enter its line of fire. After a miscalculation, the Ukrainian tank misses a shot. Some Russian armored vehicles are destroyed in the process. The APC, Armored Personnel Carrier, is not a tank, but an armored vehicle designed to transport troops safely into battle, although it has lighter armament compared to tanks. Russian armored vehicles advance in formation. A well-positioned Ukrainian tank fires a precise shot that damages one of the enemy tanks. Forcing them to retreat. At this moment, a Russian armored vehicle enters an ambush. The Ukrainian tank, with a clear mission to locate and neutralize the enemy, takes a precise shot, effectively disabling the Russian vehicle. A Russian armored vehicle makes a strategic mistake and remains stationary on the battlefield. Taking advantage of this, a Ukrainian tank fires with precision, neutralizing the enemy vehicle. Two Russian APCs and other armored vehicles approach. The Ukrainian tank advances to confront them. After the first accurate shot, one of the APCs is destroyed. In sequence, another shot hits another enemy armored vehicle. The Ukrainian tank makes the third shot, but the enemy retreats, prompting the Ukrainian tank to reload and finish the engagement with another destruction. Suddenly, two armored vehicles position themselves facing each other just 20 meters apart. The Ukrainian gunner, with skill, quickly fires and hits one of the enemy tanks. In military context, the crew of a tank typically includes commander, responsible for leading the team and making tactical decisions. Gunner operates the cannon and the tank's armaments. Loader loads the shells into the cannon. Driver operates and maneuvers the tank on the battlefield. In an attempt to repel the enemy's advance, a Ukrainian tank is sent on the mission and advances, determined under Russian fire. The Russian shots miss. And the Ukrainian tank, with precision, takes a decisive shot that disables the enemy tank. Two enemy tanks face off. The faster Ukrainian tank takes a precise shot that damages one of the Russian armored vehicles, causing it to explode in flames. In a second shot, the Ukrainian tank eliminates the other Russian armored vehicle. Enemy armored vehicles advance unaware that a Ukrainian tank is waiting for them. With precision, the Ukrainian gunner takes accurate shots against the Russian vehicles, destroying them. After the success of the ambush, the Ukrainian tank retreats, releasing smoke to make it harder to be located during the escape. The Russian armored vehicles explode. The Ukrainian tank is sent on a critical mission to prevent the advance of enemy armored vehicles. When the two groups meet, the first Ukrainian shot nearly hits the enemy tank, but the explosion occurs nearby. With the second shot, the enemy reacts and attempts to counterattack. However, only with the third shot is the enemy tank damaged and forced to retreat. The Ukrainians, unwilling to miss the opportunity, fire once more, but with the help of drones, the Russian armored vehicle manages to escape. Ukrainian soldiers, after finding an uncrewed Russian tank, capture the vehicle and use it in a strategic mission. Along the way, they encounter a Russian APC that, mistakenly believing it's among allies, makes a fatal error by getting too close. The Ukrainians take a precise shot, destroying the Russian APC. A Russian APC advances toward an attack, but on the way, it encounters a Ukrainian APC and begins firing. In this engagement, the Ukrainian APC takes a more advantageous position and, with greater precision, destroys the Russian APC. Celebrating the victory, a Ukrainian soldier raises the flag of their country. If you love tank battles and want to see more, don't forget to like the video now